In the bustling streets of Chicago, Jake Miller and Emily Carter's love story epitomized an ideal life. Jake was a young architect from a working-class family, while Emily was an enthusiastic art teacher who saw beauty in everything. Their favorite spot was a small crosswalk near Millennium Park where they shared coffee every morning. The engagement ring in Jake's pocket felt like the culmination of everything they had built together, a future filled with promise and endless possibilities. Meanwhile, Sarah Johnson was driving home from her high-pressure corporate law job, exhausted after another draining 14-hour day. Her phone buzzed with yet another demand from her domineering father, pressuring her to take over the family's prestigious firm. Through tear-blurred vision, she saw two figures stepping onto the crosswalk. The screech of tires, the sickening impact, and then silence. Jake managed to push Emily to safety, but her head struck the pavement with devastating force. In that single, irreversible moment, three lives, each filled with its own ambitions and burdens, collided in the most tragic way imaginable. The sterile hospital waiting room became Jake's personal hell. White-coated doctors offered condolences, but all he could hear was Emily's last whispered, "I love you." At the funeral in a suburban Chicago cemetery, rain fell on the flags lining the pathway. When Sarah appeared, his anger erupted. She represented everything wrong with the corporate world he despised. Day after day, he visited Emily's grave in that quiet suburb, keeping his promise to never let her memory fade. Sarah carried her guilt like a burden, quitting her prestigious job and watching from a distance as Jake's grief mirrored her own self-loathing. When Jake's mother, a retired schoolteacher, suffered a stroke, Sarah saw her chance for redemption. She cooked meals, handled insurance paperwork, and provided comfort, all without expecting forgiveness. The day Jake found her reading to his mother in their modest suburban home, something in his anger began to shift. When Sarah's journal accidentally fell from her bag, its pages revealed a truth Jake never expected. Her handwritten entries spoke of a different kind of prison, a gilded cage built on her wealthy family's expectations, a life meticulously planned since childhood, and the relentless pressure to uphold a legacy she never chose. In that moment, Jake saw the invisible walls that confined her. They were both victims of circumstance, bound by different chains of expectation and duty, yet grieving the futures they had lost in the exact same tragic moment. The discovery of Emily's final letter to Jake became their turning point. Written before the accident, her words were prophetic. "If anything happens to me, promise you'll keep living fully. Find happiness again, that's the greatest tribute you could ever give me." It was the same unwavering hope and inner strength she had always carried within her, a final gift that now gave him the permission he needed to finally begin healing. Jake returned to that Chicago crosswalk, but this time with Sarah by his side. There, where everything had ended, something new began. The same engagement ring that once symbolized lost love was redesigned into a promise of renewal. Their small wedding in a Chicago park was attended by Jake's beaming mother and the memory of the woman who made their new beginning possible. As a married couple, they regularly visited Emily's grave, their hearts filled not with sorrow, but with profound gratitude. The crosswalk where tragedy had once struck now featured a small memorial bench funded by Sarah's family foundation as a testament to healing and remembrance. With time, Jake came to a powerful understanding. True strength isn't about forgetting the past, but about building a future that honors it. He realized that moving forward required carrying one's history with grace, not leaving it behind. In this hard-won wisdom, they found their own version of a meaningful life, one built on the solid foundations of forgiveness, the quiet power of resilience, and the brave, open-hearted courage to love again